Welcome, everybody, to another episode of In the Divide. So we're bringing things in crypto, things with Algorand, bringing everything together. Um, coming to you. I got a video that I wanted to share with you. This is I do a lot of research, a lot of just due diligence. One of the things I come across a lot is a lot of misunderstanding, even in the news, a lot of programming that is meant to kind of, I want to say, dissuade and add fear with cryptocurrency. I wanted to do this for a minute, but I found this thing where I was on doing financial research, markets and everything. You have to understand due diligence is required of everyone who understands what they're investing in. So I wanted to share this with you, what I found. I'm going to be making some comments on it, but I want you to see what's in the market today with you in crypto and some of the things you need to hear. And don't take things fully at face value, but you have to understand where some of this is coming from. Fear, the FUD. I got to tell you this, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not trying to give financial advice. I'm just trying to share understanding from a different perspective of some of these established people that come on to news programs promoting a different viewpoint that is opposite of what crypto is, that is against their perspective or what they understand the market to be. Crypto is a new market. It's a new paradigm, and I really want you to share this with you because I know if you're doing anything, if you hear on the news, some of this is something that you probably heard already. So let me do this and let me share the screen here. Hopefully you are in the position now that you're seeing some of the things that's going on and you're becoming more aware with being in the know. But
in Money Watch, there are concerns the price of Bitcoin and other digital assets could tank.
Yeah, this comes as the Federal Reserve announces hikes to interest rates to offset inflation. Now, Bitcoin has been struggling for the past few months, while historical data suggests this month could be a strong month for cryptocurrency experts.
now, May is usually a strong month where cryptocurrency has a lot of bullish uptrends. But like I told you in many of my videos, with all the stuff that's going on as far as with the markets, with the global situation, with the war, this is a unique situation that had not been seen economically in the history of America, where coming off of, well, I guess you got wars and stuff and pandemics. It had to be the 30s or somewhere around there, maybe the 16, no, like the teens or something like that. This had not been a market like this in a decade, over a decade. So I really want you to understand a lot of stuff that they're saying, all the fear that they're pumping in. They don't understand the transition that's about to happen now is moving from the traditional financial things, because that's the thing that's kind of crippling our economy, is the central planners, the people who are thinking they understand how this thing works, and all they're doing is creating bubbles. But let's continue.
Warn that it could be heading for a sharp correction.
For more on all of this, let's bring in Wall Street Journal reporter Paul Vigna. Paul, great to see you again. Always a pleasure to see an old colleague. So, what is causing the crypto market to struggle right now? Do you think this is temporary? What will it take for it to bounce back?
Well, it's to back up just a second. What's happened in the crypto markets over really the past 2 years is the kind of people investing in it has changed. You have a lot more professional money managers in this market now, to the point where they really got to dominate trading. And what you've seen happen because of that is that Bitcoin, Ethereum, other cryptocurrencies have really become more a part of the capital markets. And with
I want to pause it right there. Hopefully everybody understand I'm using this in fair use. What he says right there is very true. A lot of people now, the markets and crypto, that's why you see the crypto market and the stock market so closely tied together now, is because a lot of the big money that's making moves in crypto are some of the VCs and some of the bigger whales and people who are invested heavily in it, and it's moving with the market because they're actually looking at crypto as investments sub or aside with their stock investments, and you getting that mutual when the market dips or when they are trying to reinvest or move their money, they're considering crypto also. So it's kind of mirroring what they're doing with their their stock portfolio, because to them it's just an asset also. It's not necessarily a long-term thing.
Within that, they've become sort of slotted over towards the riskier end of the capital markets. They're very risky. So you have people now not just buying Bitcoin or Ethereum, but they're buying, they're investing in crypto, they're investing in stocks, they have an entire portfolio. Crypto becomes a riskier part of that portfolio. Then you pull back and look at what's going on in the capital markets right now. You have rising inflation, you have rising bond yields, and you have the Federal Reserve and other central banks changing their monetary policy. That is putting pressure on growth stocks. That is putting pressure on risky investments. And investors, as they sell those things, they are also selling their cryptocurrencies.
So, Paul, you mentioned it's a potentially a risky investment. Does that mean it's no longer a safe bet for people looking for a long-term investment?
Now, I want to pause it here, and this is one of the things that you have to understand what they're setting up is they're trying this fear, this FUD, like crypto is just going to go away. It's risky. It's riskier than the other things that's been going on in the market. There's no more risk with cryptocurrency being a new currency, being a new person on the block, than a new company that's been started that's now positioning itself to dominate, to belong. And one of the things that you will continue to hear on some of these financial reports is how risky, there's no long term. Now, this is true with some currencies of cryptocurrency when there is no use case for it. That's why I always talk about, me being bullish on Algorand, because there is so many use cases for it, so many real-time cases for it, where it should be right now move out some of the current financial products that it can compete with, that it can be, as far as getting loans and giving us the ability to have loans at a lower rate. Because there is no middleman, there is no bank. You essentially are the person who is making a deal directly with the person who's going to give you the loan, not with the bank. So you will be in a position to have more financial control of your money. And this is the thing that they don't want that to be implemented. And they don't see it right now because they're wrapped up in what they're usually are their normal traditional markets.
I don't think I would have ever said it was a safe bet. Look, I think cryptocurrencies are they're a fascinating technology. It's a great story as a writer, as a journalist. It's a great story to be able to tell. But as an investment, these are risky investments. They do not have a long track record. Bitcoin is the oldest, and that's only been around about 13 years. So they have a short track record.
Look, they talking about track records. Amazon is not the oldest company, neither Apple nor Tesla, but they run things. They run the market. These big pharma companies that's popping up, they are not old companies. They are recent companies that are now dynamic companies because they transformed the narrative, they transformed the market. And that's the same thing that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is doing. It has transformed the sector of the market that is now going to be in a position to take over this sector of the economy, and it's not talking about risk, 'cause there's risk with everything, but to actually downgrade it like it's like some mom and pop store looking to barely make rent every week is just nonsense. This guy is just talking nonsense.
For most of their time, they were an extremely small market. They've never really, up until the last couple of years, operated on a very large scale. Now their estimates are that there's about 300 million people around the world that hold cryptocurrencies, which is a big number for crypto, but it's still a small number, relatively speaking. The entire market cap for the market is around $2 trillion, depending on where everything's trading right now. That's a small asset class compared to stocks or bonds. So it is still a small market. It is still a new market. You don't exactly know where any of it's going. You don't know what these things are going to become in the future. So it is overall, it is a risky one.
Yeah, I mean, how do we know that, for instance, Bitcoin won't become the MySpace of the cryptocurrency world, right? I mean, there's no.
See what they done here? They establishing that cryptocurrency is an outdated MySpace to do it to MySpace, where it's the technology is so cutting edge that it's past whatever the banks are using in their monetary process and their transaction solutions, and they're comparing it to outdated technology. No.
Guarantee that this could just disappear. It couldn't just disappear in a few years.
Yeah, it could. You look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a longer track record. It has an extremely passionate fan base. But yes, and Tanya, I can even go further back and say Bitcoin become the Betamax of cryptocurrency. And there's no guarantee that something better won't come along and people will migrate to it. That absolutely could happen. Just like it could happen, and history shows that it has happened for virtually every blue chip stock.
So this is what happens. Yeah, something could come. There could be a flying saucer that comes tomorrow. Frogs could rain down. Look, could. The way they're talking about this is creating this doubt, creating more fear. Like, it was nice to have crypto when we had it. It was a nice idea, but, it's too risky. It's, there's no next step to it. It's just, this is farcical. This is funny. And these are what experts are saying that have no understanding and knowledge of what the blockchain actually is, as far as the privacy and part of being able to give utility back to us as citizens. They don't understand the next move in the evolution of us as people, as free citizens, that this is actually giving us more agency in our own lives. We need that now. So
you look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it started out in the 1890s with 12 stocks. The last of them was GE, and now GE's out of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So history shows us that the big stable thing right now could change over time. And in the tech world, all of that has obviously been, that growth has been, sort of hyper compartmentalized. So yes, absolutely, it could happen.
Just thought I'm not giving investment advice to anyone.
Money out.
Yeah.
Paul Mania, thank you.
So
absolutely, thanks for having me on.
So pretty much this is the video. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I understand, that this whole prospect now of fear that's going on in the market has to be something that people who are in the position to know that Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, we're in a position, it's in the position right now to do a real revolution of the financial economy. People don't want that. There's companies, there's organizations that want to keep us right where we are. Because if they were talking about, people in a position of things being old, monetary policy, that's old. Dollar bills, paper dollars, that's old, that's outdated. There's nobody's writing checks anymore. The paper currency is the Neanderthal. It is the dinosaur in the room right now. But everybody's trying to poo-poo on cryptocurrency. Understand this, everything we've been using at this point in time is just digital. Credit cards, transaction solutions, all the debt is all digital. The only thing that blockchain does is keeps a record of it, allows you to keep a personal record in the personal account that you own and that you control. Don't let them tell you anything different with the cryptocurrency. That's why I'm holding my bag of Algorand. I don't know where things going to go from here. I don't know if it's going to go up, sideways, down, but I do know the technology now that exists in the market for cryptocurrency is the next evolution of finance and the next evolution of freedom. And I want you to understand this. Go ahead and subscribe, like this video, comment. There's a revolution on many factors. People think of political revolutions, but I'm thinking of there's always the class system that's above everything else. Class system where people dictate what you should do because they have the power, authority, and they are in charge of the money. I want to be in charge of my own money. I want my own solution. So this is Sam Houston in the Divide, hoping your tomorrow be better than your today. And I'm out.